back to the shop, guys. I'm Chris with M7 Metalworks, and today we're going to do another vise restoration. This is a Reed 104. Yeah, 104. Now this vise has had some repairs done to it. It's had a crack through this dynamic jaw, and so they've brazed that. They've done a pretty good job though, and so we're going to clean this vise up. We're going to actually highlight. I'm going to try to polish out a little bit of that brass, get it shiny looking, and do a few other little things. There's some grind marks on here that I'm probably going to want to TIG weld those in, and there's a good bit of stuff. I'll bring you around the vise here in a second, but there's quite a bit of stuff on the top of the vise right here, just on the dynamic jaw. For whatever reason, they like the grinder on this side. Which makes sense if that's on your bench, if they're grinding on this side. So the grinder hit this jaw a good bit. So we're going to clean that up. We're going to clean the whole vise up. We're going to pull it apart. We're going to clean it and re-lube it. And then we'll do some, I don't want to say repairs, but we're going to fix it where it's a little nicer looking, I guess. We're going to dress some of these areas that maybe weren't done as well as I would like. And then I have an Ironman event from my church this week. It's just simply where we bring a bunch of the men to my shop, and we'll do some blacksmithing and that kind of thing. And I may even record some of that for you, but I'm going to give it away. It's just going to be like a door prize. We'll draw out of a hat or something, and we'll give this vise away to one of the attendees at the Ironman. So let's get started. Show you how quickly and easily this thing will come apart. The first thing we want to do is get this dynamic jaw off of here. So now it's not moving anymore when I do that, so I'll just give her a yank. Get that aside. And then we've got a little screw in here, just a little set screw. And mine's nice and loose. I like it a little snugger than that typically. Now with that collar loosened up, we can remove our lead screw. And that collar, wow, that was rough. Alright, well, collar looks okay though. So that's done. Really, there's only one thing to pull apart here, and that's our nut inside there, and that's pretty simple to do. We just need to knock a pin out of there. There's always a hole in the bottom of these. I've seen people try to come through and punch it through the top, just weird stuff. Just pop it out like that. Pin comes out real simple. And then just give her a tap. It'll make it resist coming out. That's just normal. So there's our lead nut. That just allows us to get in there and clean it all up. That's not super necessary, but I do want to clean all the crud out of here. It's just got a ton of junk. When we put this nut back in, we'll put it back in, and then we'll take the pin and we'll just pop her down in that hole there. Real simple. So let's put a handle on it that has a set screw. This one's been welded on this end, but you can see it's not it's not proper. Someone's just replaced this handle. So we'll just, that set screw's nice because it has an Allen wrench, and so it's a flat. So they've put it on a flat. And it looks like it's supposed to have actually two set screws. We're not going to bother with these set screws. When we put her back on, we're going to put a weld on that. But does make it a little bit easier for me to put this on the grinder and to kind of work that handle where it's just a little more round versus flatter. And I may even throw some weld on top of that. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Well, we've gotten these cleaned up. You can see they got good power washing. I also used a little bit of degreaser on each of them to just get the grease and oil off of them. You see the brass on there a lot clearer now. Got the lead screw cleaned up very nicely, as well as the nut. And we're going to let those dry just a little bit. At this point, it's clean, it's been degreased. Let's look at seeing what we can do to make this shine up just a little bit. I did just a little bit on the belt grinder over there, but I've got a worn out flap disc, and I'm going to see how that does on this. Right here you can see this is where somebody's hit that with a grinder. So I've just cleaned it up, got it down to a little bit more bare metal. I've used a little acetone on it, and I'm just going to grab the MIG here, and I'm just going to try to fill those in and then see if I can't shape that a little bit just to take off kind of an eyesore on the vise. You see we've welded that in now, and we've rough ground it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the flap disc, and I'm going to clean that up, get rid of some of these lines, and we'll see how she looks then. You can see this turned out really nice after just giving it a little bit of flap disc. It's really smoothed out a lot. I'm going to go over the rest of this. I'm not going to get on all the little, you know, divots and pock marks and that kind of thing, but I want to go over the whole vise for the most part. That way when I'm going to end up bluing this, and my blue will, it'll blend just a little bit better. All right, so I've taken the flap disc and I've just, you can see, kind of just gone over very lightly. Didn't hit that much at all, but that'll help the color kind of blend a little bit. And I don't know what my bluing chemical will do, if anything, to this brass, so we're gonna check it out. You can see here where the repair was right there, and it's getting chalky because I've been using this bluing, super blue, and once I put the oil on it, you won't see all this chalky. I went ahead and did the whole vise, and that way it'll have more of a uniform look. So I think you'll understand kind of what I'm going for here shortly. You can see kind of how we came out on this. So this is the one that was, it was the larger of the two. It was the one that had the set screws in it, and I went ahead and welded that and then just shaped it. And then this is the one that was already welded on there, but I did take out some of the saucer shape and welded on the top and kind of rounded it. They are not, as you can probably tell, exactly the same, but they're pretty nice, and certainly I think will be very functional, and they're kind of comfortable in the hands too, so that's good. I'm contemplating not putting bluing material on this and having that stand out just a little bit, so, but I don't know for sure, so I'm still debating. I'm going to put this thing back together, and then we'll put the oil on the outside. So I've mixed a little bit of gear oil, 90 weight gear oil, and some multi-purpose grease, and that just makes it just a little bit looser. And if you've watched some of my Vise videos in the past, you see that's something I typically will do. And all I'm doing here is, this is that collar. All I did on that set screw, if you remember, we had an issue. It didn't have a very deep slot, so I just put a deeper slot in it. And I'm just putting a little bit of lube on there, so we will stick this down in there. To where my hole is at. There it is. Again, this is grease that's been mixed with gear lube, gear oil, and I like it to be just a little bit less thick. When it's real thick, like the gear oil comes right out of the, or I'm sorry, the grease comes right out of the tub of grease when you buy it. It is really, really thick, and it will actually make the vise just not function quite as smoothly. It's just harder, everything's harder to operate that way. So putting lube in there is unnecessary, but you're more than welcome to do it. I'm gonna put my pin, it's got a little bit of a bend to it, so I'm gonna put it toward that bend, toward the nut, and that way, as I pop her in there, she'll put a little more pressure. That's all. You don't have to get crazy with that thing. This vise isn't going to be jumping around at a pickup truck or something, so that's all I need to do right there. Now, time to re-engage. Actually, let me throw just a little bit. Let me throw a little bit of lube in that nut. I like to do that just to get a little extra lube in there. Alright, now I'm going to throw just a little lube on these, I don't know, we call them ways, I guess. Alright, let's see if we can get that screw to engage. Here, she's already engaged. together real nice. Well, I'm going to take the propane torch. I'm going to heat this up, and then I'll bring you back when I'm just putting a little bit of oil finish on there. Turned out really great, guys. So if you recall, this right here is that area that we repaired. So you see how the bluing really helped it blend, right? It's not 100% perfect. If you catch it in the right light, you can see just a little dimple there, but way better than it was. I'll try to let you see the jaws a little bit. I don't know how much of that I've showed. It's got really good life in the jaws still. And this thing comes together just absolutely perfectly, as you would expect with a reed vise. The quality of these reeds is just incredible. I suspect they had to really do some abuse to put a crack in that to have to braze it, or it could have been a factory flaw. Well, guys, I appreciate you watching. I think the brass turned out really good. I love how it looks. It's not, you know, I could polish that up even more. Wet sanded or something with some higher grit sandpaper would really go a long way in making it look even better. But I love the look of it. It doesn't bother me in the least. I just think it's awesome. And you know, an old timer told me years ago that these brazed, if it's brazed well, it's stronger than it was from the factory. By the way, I did forget to mention, if you look right there, you see a 1 and a 3/7. So this was made in 1937, January of 1937. So I thought that was kind of neat. Got the date stamp on there. So again, this is going to be given away. It's going to be a door prize in my Iron Man for church. And I'll try to get maybe a little footage of that, or at least of the winner when we draw the name. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned till the very end of this video, and hopefully I'll get a little footage of that. This vise I did a YouTube video on. So whoever gets the vise, I'll also, once I upload this aspect of the video on the YouTube, I'll shoot you a link to it. That way you can see your own work. Remember to hit that like button. Alright, ready for a drum roll? Alright, Gail, make sure you got it on me here, buddy. Yep. Alright, ready? Here we go. Dave Lofton. Hey!
We got a winner in the bunch. Congratulations. You got the Vise with the GT racing stripe, man. Nice.
Hey, Dave, I just got carried out. Got carried out.
This is a power one. This is I think you got to abuse it. You're going to use a 15 pounds. You can kill it.